Welcome to our channel, everyone. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. We're so glad you're tuning in. Today, we're talking about a frustration I think almost every English learner has felt.
Definitely. You ever feel like you're putting hours into studying English, but the moment you try to understand a native speaker, it all falls apart?
It's so common. But what if we told you that the secret to mastering English listening isn't about studying more, but about a simple 15-minute habit you can do on your way to work or while you're making coffee?
It sounds almost too simple to be true, but the results really do speak for themselves. In this episode, we're going to show you exactly how a 15-minute podcast habit can completely transform your listening comprehension and confidence.
And change the way you learn English forever.
Let's be honest, there is nothing more frustrating than doing all the work, plowing through grammar books, memorizing vocabulary, only to feel totally lost when you try to watch a movie without subtitles.
Exactly. The sounds just wash over you. The words blur together, and you end up just nodding along, praying nobody asks you a question. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. This is the biggest wall most English learners hit on their journey to fluency.
So what's going on here? The good news is the problem isn't you, it's your method. Traditional learning often treats English like a subject you study for a test, not a skill you actually use.
That's a great way to put it. It's like reading a book about how to swim and expecting to be an expert without ever touching the water. You can know all the theory, but you'll still be shocked when you jump into the pool.
The truth is, listening is the bedrock of learning a language. There's research that shows we spend a massive 45% of our communication time just listening. It's the main way we absorb the natural rhythm, intonation, and flow of a language.
And when you listen consistently, you start to internalize the rules of English without even trying. Good listening skills don't just set you up for speaking, they make confident speaking possible in the first place. The secret is to switch from passively studying to actively listening.
And the perfect tool to make that happen is probably already in your pocket.
So, why podcasts? Why not just watch movies or TV shows? While those are fantastic, podcasts have a few superpowers that make them the perfect tool for this specific habit.
The first one has to be convenience. They are incredibly convenient. You can listen anywhere, on your commute, at the gym, while cooking dinner, or walking the dog. This lets you weave English practice into the little gaps in your day.
You don't have to find more time, you just have to transform the time you already have.
Second, podcasts give you a dose of real, authentic language. Unlike a perfectly polished textbook, podcasts feature real people having real conversations. You get to hear different accents, natural speaking speeds, slang, and all the little imperfections that make up real-world speech. This is the English you'll actually hear on the street.
And here's what I think is the most important reason there is a podcast for everything. Seriously, whatever you're passionate about science, history, comedy, true crime, personal growth there's an English podcast for it.
That's a total game changer for motivation. When you listen to something you genuinely find interesting, it stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like fun. Your brain is more engaged, and you learn without even noticing.
Think about a fictional learner we'll call Anna. Anna has a busy 9 to 5 job and felt like she had zero time to study, but she loves psychology and personal growth. So, she found a popular psychology podcast and started listening on her 20-minute train ride to work.
At first, it was tough, but because she was genuinely hooked on the topic, she kept going. She wasn't studying English, she was learning about a subject she loved, and that small shift started everything. All right, now for the core technique. This isn't about just letting a podcast play in the background. That's passive listening. And while it has some benefits, we're talking about a focused, active listening workout. This is your 15-minute daily gym session for your English brain.
We're going to break it down into 4 simple steps. All you need is a podcast you like, a way to read the transcript. Many podcasts, like TED Talks, offer them for free, and a notebook.
Okay, step 1. The first listen. Get the vibe. This takes about 3 minutes. First, pick a short 2 to 3 minute chunk of the podcast. Now, listen to it once without any distractions. No transcript, no phone, no notes.
Your only job is to get the general idea. Don't panic if you miss words or don't understand everything. Just ask yourself, what's the main topic? What's the speaker's tone? Are they being funny, serious, or informative? That's it. This first pass warms up your brain.
Next is step 2, the second listen, active note-taking. This one is about 4 minutes. Listen to that same segment again, but this time, have your notebook out. Your mission is to engage with what you hear. Write down keywords or phrases you recognize. This builds confidence by showing you how much you already understand.
Then, and this is key, write down any words that are fuzzy or phrases where you get lost. You can even just write how the word sounds to you. The goal isn't perfection, it's to pinpoint exactly where the confusion is.
Step 3, the deconstruction, connect sound to text. Give this one about 5 minutes. This is where the dots connect. Pull up the transcript for the part you just heard. Now, read through it while thinking back to what you heard. Find those words you wrote down. What were they actually saying? Look them up.
You'll have a bunch of aha moments. Oh, so that's what that was. This step forges a powerful link between the sounds you hear and the written words. Pay close attention to how words smash together in natural speech. For example, going to becomes gonna, or what are you doing sounds more like what you doing. Seeing it on paper is a game changer.
And finally, step 4, the final listen, the aha moment. This just takes 3 minutes. Listen to the segment one last time, but now read along with the transcript. Suddenly, it will all click into place. The sounds that were a blur will become clear words.
The sentences will make perfect sense. This final listen cements everything you just figured out, locks in the new vocabulary, and gives you a massive shot of confidence. You're proving to your brain that you can do this.
And that's it. A powerful, focused 15-minute routine that will systematically upgrade your listening skills.
If you're finding this method helpful and can already see how it might work for you, we'd love it if you take a second to rate or review our podcast on whatever platform you're using.
It really helps us out. And if you want more practical tips just like this to transform your English, make sure to subscribe to our channel. It's great to have you in the community.
Once this 15-minute session becomes a solid habit, you can start adding a few more techniques to put your progress into hyperdrive.
First, level up the difficulty. If you're a beginner, it's totally fine to start with podcasts for learners or even kids' stories. As you get better, challenge yourself. Move from a podcast with one clear speaker to an interview-style show with multiple speakers and different accents. This makes your ear more adaptable, just like in a real group chat.
Second, start shadowing. This is a powerful technique where you connect listening directly to speaking. It's simple. As you listen, you pause the podcast and repeat a sentence out loud. Try to copy the speaker's pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation exactly.
So if the host says, "That's a really fascinating point of view," you pause and repeat it, hitting that same emphasis. This builds muscle memory for your mouth and helps you produce more natural English sounds.
Finally, bring in passive listening. On top of your focused 15-minute workout, start playing English podcasts in the background while you do other things. You won't be trying to understand every word, but you'll be bathing your brain in the sound and rhythm of the language. Over time, this makes English feel less foreign and intimidating.
Listen, the best method in the world is useless if you don't do it consistently. The real secret to making this work is turning it into a habit you can't break.
The easiest way to do this is with a technique called habit stacking. Don't just vaguely promise you'll do it later. Anchor your new 15-minute habit to something you already do every single day. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will start my listening practice.
Or, as soon as I sit down on the bus, I will press play on my podcast. Tying it to an existing routine makes it automatic.
Remember Anna from earlier? She stacked her listening practice onto her morning commute. It became as natural as buying her train ticket. And after a few months, something incredible happened. She was in a meeting with some British colleagues.
Before, she would have been terrified and lost. But this time, she followed the conversation. She got the jokes. She understood their points and even jumped in with her own ideas.
That 15-minute habit didn't just improve her listening, it gave her a seat at the table. It gave her the confidence she was looking for all along.
So let's bring it all home. That feeling of being stuck with your listening skills isn't your fault. It's not about studying more. It's about practicing smarter.
A simple 15-minute daily podcast habit, broken down into our 4 steps. Listen for the gist, take active notes, deconstruct with the transcript, and listen one last time for clarity, is the key to smashing through that wall.
It makes practice easy to access, genuinely fun, and incredibly effective. It builds your comprehension, your vocabulary, and most importantly, your confidence.
This is a journey, and you make progress one 15-minute session at a time. You have the tools. You have the method. All that's left is to press play.
So here's our question for you. What podcast will you use for your first 15-minute session? Drop the title in the comments section of this episode. We read every single one, and we'd love to see what you're interested in.
Sharing your choice is the perfect first step to making a real commitment. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on new tips. Thanks so much for listening.
We'll see you in the next episode.